See there. Hey there, folks. This is Corey Babka from the Marks Group. Just starting our Salesforce Tips and Tricks webinar for January. It's the end of January. These tips are actually what I'm going to go over the tips, the 3 tips that were posted the end of November. The team took December off, so that's why normally it would be the webinar is a month after the 3 tips are posted. For instance, there's going to be 3 tips posted later on this week for Salesforce. The webinar at the end of February will go over those tips in detail and kind of walk through those. So that's where we are right now. So what I wanted to do is just kind of go through the motions with you, show you what's going on here and what we are. And the 3 tips that we're looking at today are the advanced notes. And actually, sorry to say, I kind of cheated. I broke it into 2 parts because it is a little complex. But it's 2 parts. And then also the stay in touch email. Not sure if anyone's used that before. So the first things first, let's go ahead and look at the notes. Now, some of you may have enabled the advanced notes area. If you look at the notes area now, we used to have this notes and attachments area. That was where we posted notes, we posted attachments, it was the same thing. But now they've changed that, and we now have this advanced notes area. And I'm just going to show you how we do that here. So if I go into setup, and if I just do my search, I always use this, I find it very, very helpful, is I just do notes. I don't hit enter, I just type in notes, and then you'll see that you get this note settings. Click here. And I've already got mine enabled, which is fine. So we click enable notes, we hit save, and then we've got it all set up, and that's fine. Okay. Now the issue is that some of them may not be enabled on the form. I did find that before, that when I looked at certain things, if I go ahead and look at, just going to find a record here. If I just look at financial voyages, right? And I look at this here and I go to my notes and attachments. This is the old one, but I can no longer add a note. But here's my other notes where I do have a new note, and I can click this new note. Many times this is not there, all right? And if it's not, we go to edit layout. Okay, you'd have to do this with each object. And we go to our related lists. If we go to our related lists, you should see here's notes and attachments, here's notes. So as you can see, both of these are on here already. They're grayed out. I can't drag and drop. But that's where they would be. And they are 2 separate things now. So the notes and attachments would be just the same as they used to be. Notes here for notes and attachments would be legacy notes. Okay. Now we also have the new notes, which is the new notes section. And once we do that, we add those in and hit save. Now the reason why I do this is because if I look at, for instance, if I go here, let's see if I can find another one that might have some old notes here. Go to notes and attachments. I have a bunch of things here. And you see that I have a note that says like Maria's update, right? When I go here, here's this. It's just a note that I added in, so on and so forth. And there we are. And that's what the note was, right? But now I have a new area that's called the new notes. Okay. And that's what it would be there. So once we have that enabled, okay, I use this all the time. Once it's enabled, I just go here and I click new note. And what's really nice about this is it actually comes into a larger form. We give it a title, say testing only. Okay. And we say, this is a note where we can do with rich text, so on and so forth. Some people love this because I can say, list 1, list 2, list 3, list 4, and I can take these, highlight them, actually bullet them, right? I could make this underline, I can make this one bold, right? I can make this bold and italics, right? So we've got certain things going in there. Okay, I can underline this. What's not there is I cannot do, I can't do font color changes yet. Right? But I can do bullets and I can do numbers. So I could say, here are the steps. And I can do this. And I can do 1, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say instead, go here first, then here, you've arrived. If I do that and then I highlight these in number, there's our 1, 2, 3, 4. This is very important because it works a lot like anything you're used to doing in Word or an email or so on and so forth. So now I will show you here, as I always do, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? So the good is that I can do this. The bad is once I save this, okay, I'm kind of there and that's it. Like it doesn't go back to the record previously, which drives me a little nutty. So I have to do this and go back to SendLar, right? Now, note sharing settings, I can share it with people if I want to, right? I can type in a list here and I can do certain things so they can edit it. I can delete the note, but if I click back on this here and I go back, now you can see my note. Now look at this, the way that it does it. This is a note where we can do a lot more, list 1, 2. See how they kind of move it into one? So I guess that would be the ugly, right? So the bad is that I have to kind of click something to go back. The ugly is that it does this. But if I go and actually look at the note, you'll see the whole thing and it's pretty wild there, right? I hit cancel, then I go back and it will show me that. But you have that people can actually do things like that. There's actually titles, which is good as well, right? The old notes used to do that too, where there was a title. And if I went and viewed it, you know, I clicked on it, it would go there. There's my note, right? So that's kind of where we are and how this kind of works, right? And so, you know, what I'm saying here in my tips is, you know, you can do underline, you can't do colors, but you can do the lists. And I'm a bullet point guy. I love to do bullets. I love to do my notes. I do a lot of things like if I go back to this Financial Voyages, I'll show you this note. I did a call with them earlier this week, and here's all the information that I had, right? You know, what are we going to do for their system? And then I know that that's what it is. Could I put that in activity history? I could, right? That's where all my emails, my tasks are. But this is more of like a initial note, initial call notes, things like that I can track, right? Excuse me. I used to do a lot more of like notes where I would attach notepad files, because when I'm on the phone with someone, I take a lot of notes on notepad and I just type and type and type. And I used to just attach that in as an attachment. Well, now I use the notes instead, and I know that's where they are. I can underline. I can do a lot more than I can do a notepad. It's more like a word pad, if anything like that, and we go from there. Okay, so that's it there. That's what we're looking at for the notes section. Like I said, that's kind of tip 1 and 2 for me. And now, for those that are viewing, just so you know, there is a Q&A section on the left-hand side. I know that it's not really live. It's more of a 5-minute delay, but you can text me and do a Q&A if you have any questions on anything I'm saying here. Okay. Now, the other piece that we're looking at is the third tip was the enabling the stay in touch, using the stay in touch email is what it is. Okay. And the stay in touch email is contact centric. Okay. If I go to a contact here, like here's Ralph, right? And I've got this request update button, okay? It's not used often, okay? But people do, they do utilize it to get more information. I'm gonna show you the whole kit and caboodle what happened. So I'm gonna actually do a search for Alex Babka. That's my son, he's a test record. It's actually, this is my personal email address. Please don't use that, please don't give it out, but this is what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna do a request update, okay? And when I do a request update, what it does is actually it gives me the ability to say, I'm updating my address book, blah, blah, blah. Can you look at the info below and see what we have, right? And then there's a signature where you can do all this. And we can actually, see, I can customize the note and the signature if I go to the Stay in Touch settings. Salesforce is nice to give me a link right to that. And I'm going to go there here. I'm going to say, hi, Alex. I'm updating my address book. Can you take a look at the info below and let me know if it's out of date? Just click the link in the email to go to the right page so I can be automatically updated. Hope this finds you well. Right now my signature would be like this. I would say, you know, I could go and do a new email if I wanted to and just copy that stuff. I go back to my Salesforce and do Corey and paste that in. There's my signature, and that's all good. That's fine. I can do an automatic BCC. I can do a reminder. I can do all sorts of stuff and then save it, right? So now if I go back, let's go back to our contacts again. Find Alex, go here and do a request update. Now I've got my email. There's the information, blah, 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 blah. The body, hope this finds you well. There's the body, and then I say send, okay? I send it out, and then we wait a couple minutes, right? So there's Alex's information, and then what I'm gonna do is show you in Outlook what I do actually see, okay? What happens is you go here, we do a send and receive. It's gonna be in my personal email. You're gonna see all the spam that I get on a daily basis. I could also pause this at this point. I'd pause the recording, but that'd be no fun. I want to see it. There it is. So here's my core Babka staying in touch. So let's just look at this email. So it says stay in touch and say, hi, Alex, updating my address book, blah, 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 right? And then what I can do, there's download pictures. You'll see that there's no changes or update now. So the person will actually get all this information here is what they have, okay? And then you can put in, now I believe, let's go back and do something there because I do want to see with the request update, use the mass stay in touch tool. I want to customize what we're actually, that's a view. That's actually, this actually blasts out a whole thing and I don't want to do that. I want to do instead, if I can change the settings of the record that's being looked at, okay? Mass email, stay in touch settings. That's fine. We save this and then it goes into here. I'm looking for, there's my fields. That's for the merge. I'm looking to see where we display what it is. And that's maybe what I have to look into. I don't know off the top of my head how we do it, but I know you can customize what information they're actually seeing. Okay. So if I do this here and I go to this email, if I was the recipient, I would look at it and say, oh, these are not right. These aren't correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say update now. It's a horrible hyperlink, as you can see. But the reason why is because it opens up an actual Salesforce page. It's within my Salesforce, believe it or not. This is the same URL as I have. And then I can change everything around, right? So I can say vice president, right? Department is that. Home phone, 555-123-4567. I can do assistant is Eric. That's my other son, don't tell him. If you'd like to send a note and say, thanks for reaching out. Things are going well. Nice to hear from you. And I hit continue. Okay, and that's it. Now what happens is because I sent it, I'm going to get an email that says this person has updated their information. Okay, so we can get rid of this for right now. Get rid of a couple other junk emails that I've got. And this is actually going to come to another email that I have, another email account. It's usually pretty quick. You can see all my stuff here. Salesforce certification, winner, all that maintenance, yeah, blah, blah, blah. You see that, and we should see it. Actually, maybe it comes in here. There it is. I'm sorry, it comes in my Marks Group account. All right, so here it is. So Alex has sent you the following contact information, right? Thanks for reaching out. Things are going well. Nice to hear from you. Now, I only have one option. If I actually do in my, if I say all never block sender, right? Then I'll get my images. And so now here I go to this update now. I'll open up this record. There's Alex, there's his address, all that kind of stuff there. The home phone, you can see I left out those parentheses, but it did keep it. It tells me what it was before and what's being updated, okay? And then I just say accept changes. So is it a one at a time? It is. It is a one here and there, one at a time, so on and so forth. And I know that can be a nuisance, but that's actually pretty good. it's not a bad thing to have when they're sending individual notes. Now, what I could do is this. I could say request contact, and I could say my mass, I could use the mass stay in touch tool, right? Which is what I was looking at before. And this one is a view that I would say, here's, let's edit this view. And it would be last stay in touch request date was last 90 days. Maybe I could make it, 360 days, right? So those that I haven't talked to in a year, right? Things like that. I would save that view. And what I could do, right, it's saying the maximum because if I look at it, it's too many. But this allows me to do like a mass email, which is what we do many times before. And that's where that whole, you could do it one time fell swoop. I'm going to send out 200 emails right now to do stay in touch. And then they will, during the day, send back to me all these additions or maybe no updates or anything like that. Okay. It's very useful. I find it very, very helpful when it comes down to just a one-on-one touch, keeping in touch. I do a lot of those emails throughout the day and the weeks just to make sure that I'm in touch with my clients. But that's what you're looking at here is an easy way to just reach out, update some information, hope this finds you well, blah, 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 do that. You can even change this if you want, and then hit send, and then it will go out, right? And that's kind of where we are. Now, you could do your last request if you want to do them here and there. You could do it with the mass stay in touch tool, like I said, a couple hundred records at a time you could send out, but be careful what you wish for because you will get possibly a couple hundred replies saying things are good here. These are the updates that I did. I changed the title, so on and so forth, and you can accept those updates. Okay, and that's about it for now. So like I said, it was a little bit of a lighter tip session, the notes, the advanced notes, and then the stay in touch. I'm going to go a little bit further, probably into mail merges, doing a mail blast next month, and we'll start to do some more. And as if there's any suggestions for tips, anything like that, or want more information at it, for Salesforce, by all means, let me know. My email is Corey, Corey, @marksgroup.net, marksgroup.net. And that's it for now. Everyone have a good day. For those in the Northeast, stay warm. Good luck digging out still. We got a couple feet of snow where I am. So it was a little bit late today for the buses, so on and so forth, but fun times. So everyone have a good day, and we'll speak with you soon. Thank you.